This session is going to be predominantly a passing drill, working on passing, short passing and long passing. The variation between the two and working on the principles of the two. Along with that, we're going to be targeting the psychological side of the decision making that's required to focus on when is the right time to make a short pass and when is the right time to make a long pass. Those two will be implemented with two groups of players and then they'll swap over. After that, we'll be doing a match situation where the scenario will be put in place that both teams are able to apply those things learned and use them in a match scenario. Goals will be put at the end to make it realistic to the game, and which shots and a purpose and with an end product. So when they make it either short pass or long pass, with teamwork, communication and work rate, they'll be able to give themselves an opportunity to shoot and score. So it's predominantly passing drill, working on the psychological side of when to do things. Scenarios will occur throughout these two drills to focus on when is the right time to make that decision to pass, dribble or even shoot. The first of all is the short passing, the intricate passing where space is very limited. And then also for the non-bibs, is to find that long pass out wide. Amongst all the clutter in the middle, find that long pass out wide to one person that has space. Can you communicate with them to show them a space for them to run into? So let's see how that works out. Guys, it looks good, but I'm not seeing conviction. Non-bibs, they're fine. They know what they're doing. But the oranges within this one, they needed improvement into how to get the benefit of this drill properly. So they needed that time for me to bring them in and talk to them quickly, and then they're out in a couple of seconds. Only three coaching points was needed, so just to make sure that they improve. So now we'll see if they properly grasp what I've said and they can improve it. About decision making. No matter how you break it down, it's all about decision making. So games like this, a lot of games like this, it just brings out the sort of decisions that you need to do. It gives out scenarios when to do certain things and when not to. Now, you guys are very capable in terms of your ability to ball manipulation and actually play football. But certain things, do you reckon you've been challenged enough on the mental side of the game? Do you guys think you have?
Yeah.
It's an area which has not really been tested a lot, but it's an area that does the job, and it makes a lot of things different in terms of professional level players and not. Okay, just to put all these things into practice that we've learnt today. This grid remains the same, but there's two goals either end. You cannot shoot, you can only shoot inside the grid. If you pass it out wide, the same way to replicate what we've done before, pass it out wide, you bring it back in and then play. If you're wide, only one person, both opposing, can enter. So if I'm on an orange and I receive the ball outside wide, only one of your players can come out to try and get the ball from me. Yeah? So we're always working in this grid, but we're using the space out wide if needed to create more space and opportunity and time, etc. You can only shoot in what? Inside the grid. If you receive the ball on the outside, what do you do? Come back in. Come back in. Okay? Ready? Sure? Right. So as you can see, it's very confined. The space is very confined. It's hard for them to actually play football the way that's needed. However, the key message for these guys is to make sure they use the outside square. If they can exploit the space outside and then come in, opportunities will arise many. But I didn't tell them that. I want to see if they can discover that for themselves. What are you restricted for? What are you not restricted for? What's the rules? Where can you shoot from? Where can you not shoot?
Moving. Help us play in tight space.
Yeah.
Space. Keep the ball moving. And communicating what?
What else, guys?
Possession.
Finding space. What about finding space?
Find space. When to take space in place.
Lovely. What else? In terms of this sort of grid, you're restricted to space. So how can you exploit it? Using the correct pass. Using the correct pass. Clever movement. What else?
Vision. Make the space as big as you can.
So how can we, in this sort of game, make the space as big as you can? Give me a scenario. How else? Give me a scenario. Paint a picture for me. Give me a scenario.
Fake some movements as well.
Pardon?
Basically like fake a movement.
Yep.
Get the defender confused.
Yep.
And yeah.
Fake your movement, get the defender confused. If he is confused, how do you know he's confused?
He'll just be going up and down, he won't know where you are.
So what would make me confused? Show me a movement that will make me confused.
If I call for the ball and I go there and the defender
So what
goes
would I
with
do?
me
I
and
go
I go
there.
back and I can
So
go
me
back
being confused
and make myself available.
Lovely. So that's what I wanted. You're painting a picture for me, okay?
Yeah.
You're painting a scenario out. So when you see it again, you know what it is. The explanation you just gave was perfect. Your movement made me look one way, but you moved another way before I even get time to turn around. So in that sense, you're giving yourself more time and more space. The option is available that if you get the ball or not. If you don't get the ball, what do you then do?
Make the same movement.
Make the same movement again until you do. If you do get the ball, what do you have as an advantage?
I've got the advantage of the man not being on me and he's not playing so tight to me because he's lost.
Lovely. But he's not lost forever.
No.
So you've got a short gap of time to make what?
Look up and make the pass. Or if I see the space available, exploit that space.
To make a decision. I love that. What do I need from my players once I've got the ball out there?
Correct runs.
Correct runs. I love that. So it all happens as a chain of events, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah? Love that. Did we get those out of this game today?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Do you all like football domination?
Yeah.
Say football domination. One time. 1, 2, 3.
Football domination.
Love that.
I picked up that you have to make the correct runs and the movement you make is very important to the rest of the play because it opens up the space and creates the different opportunities for your teammates to play the ball through or like continue the attack in the right manner and exploit the space that is available and exploit the mistakes the defenders make.
How to make space and communicate with your teammates.
Yeah.
I learned about the range of passing that you should be using, especially in small spaces.
Okay. And you think now that you've learnt this, in a match situation, you know more about what to do, and you will definitely use the techniques you learnt today.
You're better prepared. By using these techniques, you're better prepared in match situations. And do you think football domination sessions are useful for you as a footballer to develop your progress, yeah? Yeah, it's especially useful for young players, like teaching them the range of passing that should be useful in matches. And do you think football domination, this session was useful to you as a football player, yeah?
Because it's good for developing players that don't really get to train that side of the game, so yeah, it's good for that.
So today's session went well. We focused on the passing of the game, the short passing and long passing variations, combination play in terms of when to do it, when to pass, when the space opportunity allows you to pass, when it doesn't, what you do, when it does, what you do. It's all about that decision making for these players. So it went well. We touched on a lot of points. We focused on players that when they had the ball, they wasn't too sure what to do with it afterwards. So that transition period of making a decision wasn't quick enough. And that's something that needs to be worked on. That's something that you can't just have. It's something that you develop over time. So that was something that we worked on as well. Also, we worked on the variations of a player without the ball. I still have to make decisions. So if I make the space, do I call when I'm in it or do I call when I'm approaching it? What is more effective? Now, for a team game like football, you need to do it when you're approaching it. Reason being, it gives not only you time to get into the space, but it gives the player time to recognize what direction you're going in. If I stand there and ask for it, other players can just come and defend me. So it's about making those decisions on when to do things, because the timing is very little, but most effective. So it's working on every little step to try to be a much better effective footballer in decision making alone.